Listen, if you missed part one, the simplicity, or part two, the macaws, then you're in for a cool treat as I close this out with part three of the Butterick patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. Now, I'm going to say definitely go back and hear the simplicity and macaws. I hope you went ahead and got your notebook, something to drink, and snacks so we could vibe. Now, it's not a lot of Butterick patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. But I did decide to give you a comprehensive guide, and I'm hoping you're making this in like a PDF document or putting this in an Excel document. Whatever you do is up to you. Just make sure you get the ones that you really, really want that's 5 pattern pieces or less. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these 24 Butterick patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. So it's not a lot of them that are 5 pattern pieces or less, but this is a comprehensive guide of the ones that are 5 pattern pieces or less, starting from 2020 to 2024. So the first pattern is Butterick 6738. All of them are Butterick, so I'm just going to tell the numbers from here on out. It's 6738. And this pattern is a jacket, dress, top, skirt, and pant pattern. I don't think anyone made this on Instagram, but it's an average to sew pattern. So view D, which is the skirt, that is 4 pattern pieces, and view E, which is the pants, are 5 pattern pieces for this one, okay? So once again, view D is 4 pattern pieces and view E is 5 pattern pieces. E is the pants and D is the skirt, all right? So moving over to the next one, which is 6739, which is a Mrs. Woman's jacket, dress, top, skirt, and pant pattern as well. It's like a cork set for this one. View C, which is the skirt, is 2 pattern pieces. View D, which are those pants, are also 2 pattern pieces, so front and back. So this one would be super duper easy to sew. It is easy to sew from what it says on the pattern itself, but I like this one. I just haven't gotten around to sewing it at all. But once again, it's 6739. Moving over to the next pattern is 6740. Now, for this one, view C is 5 pattern pieces and view D is also 5 pattern pieces. So view C is the top, view D is the pants, and Carmen Salomon, I think it's actually, her name is called Carmen Salome 4 on Instagram. She did this pattern. I think she did the top for this one. I'm not sure if she did the pants, which is view D, but view C is the one that she did for this pattern. Once again, it's 6740. Moving over to the next pattern with 6741, which is the hat and ribbon pattern, flowers and bows. You can do that as well. So view A, which is kind of like the sun hat, is 4 pattern pieces. Also view B is 4 pattern pieces. And then view C, D, and E. View C and E is 1 pattern piece. And view D is 2 pattern pieces for this one. Now, I will say that there are people who have made this. Gwen, which is RX for sewing, she made this pattern like 3 different times. This is a really good pattern, a really good staple pattern as well. But yeah, that's what you have right here, which is 6741. That is a really good one that she did in carved fabric. So once again, it's 6741. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 6751, which is a Mrs. Top. It's like a pullover top there. Now, this is a very easy to sew top. View A and B is 2 pattern pieces. And then all the rest of the views, C, D, E, and F, are all 4 pattern pieces here. Easy to sew top. I didn't see anyone on Instagram that have done this pattern, but I do have this pattern pulled just to make a basic top. This would be really good for that retirement wardrobe, or even the Sew Over 50, wardrobe that I'm going to be doing this spring. So that would be great to put in that wardrobe if you are looking to do something that's easy, not so many pattern pieces. This would work for you. But once again, it's 67.51. Next pattern is 67.68. So view A and view B, both of those tops are 5 pattern pieces, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is view A right here, and this is view B right there. They are both 5 pattern pieces, just to give you that. View A have the shirt tail, and then view C is just your straight bottom. All right, but it's basically a pullover top that have collar bands, pleats at the front. It has drop shoulders and sleeveless as well, and it's easy to sew. Once again, 67.68. Next pattern is 67.74. Now, this pattern right here is a jacket, belt, dress, top, and shorts pattern. It's an average to sew pattern. This pattern is also out of print, but you can get this in a PDF only on simplicity.com. Now, view B and view C. So view B, which is the dress, view C, which is the top. Those are both 5 pattern pieces. And then view D, which are your shorts, is 4 pattern pieces. Now, I will say Tracy from Sewing for Therapy, she made this one. She made the jacket and she made the dress for this one as well. So I like this on her. I mean, she did a fabulous job on that. Just to kind of give you some pictures, the jacket right here, super awesome. Love the buttons there. And then the dress that she made as well. She used like this really nice, gorgeous fabric from IKEA, if I remember correctly, when she sewed this one. It was a few years ago. I will say that, like, that's why it's out of print, because she did this in 2021. So once again, it's Tracy Sewing for Therapy. You can check her out on Instagram as well if you want to see this look. It's 67.74. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 68.36. Now, this one right here is this a woman's skirt and belt pattern, easy to sew. It's a straight skirt with like a front overlay or princess theming, depending on which view you do. View A is your front overlay. View B is the one with your princess theming as well, okay? So that's what it looks like. View B is the one that is 4 pattern pieces. Now, Martha from Giri Chow, she's the one who did this pattern. She actually did the one that has the overlay, which is view A on this pattern. But yeah, that's what it looks like. She did it in this Ankara fabric. I like the color block that she did. I had this fabric. I did a simplicity pattern that I did a sew along for. I'll put it up so you're able to see that. And then also drop that sew along in the description box below. I think that sew along was $97.44, but I'll put it up so you're able to see that as well. But once again, this one is $68.36. Moving over to the next pattern, $68.75. Now for this one, view A and view B, both tops are 4 pattern pieces, and then view C is 5 pattern pieces. Now Camilla, she did this one, and she did this one as a Minerva. She's a Minerva ambassador. I'm not sure if she's still a Minerva brand ambassador. I gotta say that really slow, but she did this one, and I seen her post on the Minerva website. This one is, a few years ago she did this one, and I think, if I remember correctly, she did view B for this one. So just to check, I believe it was view B. Yes, so it was view B, the one that she did for her Minerva posting, and it was super cute. So I just wanted to highlight her here. But once again, it's $68.75. Moving over to the next pattern is $68.79. This one is a Mrs. Top and skirt pattern, and view C, which is the skirt, that one is 4 pattern pieces. So you could do it long, or you could do it short. It's up to you as well. Now, this one you could do it in a children. Now, I want to say this. the crop top is not less than 5 pattern pieces, okay? So I was a little taken away by that because you would think a crop top is 5 pattern pieces, but don't sleep on it because it was not 5 pattern pieces, okay? But once again, this is $68.79. Let's move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is $68.80, and this one is a misted shirt, pants, and short pattern. For this one, it's average to sew. So view A, B, C, and D are all 5 pattern pieces. So the top with the elastic, the button-down shirt, the pants, and the shorts, they are all 5 pattern pieces. It shocked me too. But Mercedes from That's So Me 2020, she did a whole complete collection, a spring collection back in 2023. She did like a 9-piece spring collection. And I'm sharing this one on Instagram because you can see what pattern she used. She used McCall 7757, a Vogue pattern. She also used Butterick 6880, which are the pants that you see in the first photo right here. And then she used some other patterns as well. You could go to this post so you could see and see how she did it. Ask her questions if you have any questions for her as well for this pattern. But once again, it's 6880. Moving over to the next pattern is 6882. Now this is a cord set. It features a jacket, dress, top, pants, and a stash for this one. So view A, which is the open coat, open jacket, which I have this on my list to sew this year. It's part of my hashtag So Lucky jar, but hashtag So Lucky jar is hosted by Diana from 26 by Diana. I'm participating in that, and this is one of the patterns that's in that jar. 6882. Now, view A, the open jacket, is 3 pattern pieces, and view D, which are your pants, are 2 pattern pieces, front and back. That's it. And then you just install a zipper. That's it. Good to go, but I would make it 3 because I like a waistband. So mine would feature a waistband as well. But once again, this is 6882. Moving over to the next one is 6883. Now this one is just your top, nightgown, or shorts pattern. It's easy to sew. So view E, which are your shorts, is 2 pattern pieces. I mean, it's a front and a back leg. That's it. Or shorts, okay? But this is 6883 for this one. So let's go ahead and move over to the next one, which is 6901. Now, here's the thing with 6901. I did this pattern. I have a full detail sew along for both the vest and the shorts. Now, this pattern is currently on my sewing table because I'm sewing it again in a linen fabric in like this off-white. This is part of my first collection of 2025 called The Bare Bones of Butterick Patterns. I will announce that here shortly. In about a week, I'll be announcing that as well as sharing the patterns that's part of that. Now, you're only hearing that this is part of The Bare Bones of Butterick Patterns only because this pattern is in there, okay? Along with the next pattern I'm going to be showing you, which is also in that collection, but also part of my hashtag So Lucky jar as well. So that's why I decided to name my first collection of 2025 The Bare Bones of Butterick Patterns. And reason being is because everyone knows that Butterick Patterns is just like bare bones and you got to add some flavor to it. But this pattern right here is a fully lined button front vest. It has back ties. And then you have either your pants or your shorts that have like a pleated front. And then you have that side zipper and some pockets, okay? But once again, this is 6901. I love this pattern. Many people have sewn this pattern. Lorena from Sew Lorena, she did this pattern. I believe she used a linen, if I remember correctly. I mean, you could definitely go to Instagram and read. But yeah, she did hers in a teal linen from Joann's. I love this on Lorena. Like, Lorena be hitting. Like, Lorena don't miss when she be sewing. Like, y'all need to just go follow Sew Lorena if you have not done so already. Go and follow her because Lorena don't miss when she sews stuff, all right? The other person who sewed this pattern, this is just the inspiration. So the look, that's how a lot of people probably Did this pattern because it was like a sew the look. Now, another person did this pattern was Emily. She did hers. I think she used a linen as well, like this really dark green linen fabric. Looks so good on her as well. But I love it. I like it. Yes. And she styled hers so many different ways. You know, for her, she did hers with some pants. And then she did it as all in one suit. But once again, this is Emily. Next up is Nisha from So Legal Chick. She didn't sew it just one time or two times, but she went for the Grand Slam Superman of 3 times. She did this pattern 3 different times. So the first time she did it, she did the waistcoat or the vest, and she did one of her favorite patterns for pants, which is Simplicity 3688. She did this gray vest set there, and then she made it in a yellow, like a yellow lemon fabric. And this is one of the ones that she did look so pretty there on her. It was a lemon, I don't know what it was, but let me just pull it up on Instagram. But she did it in this lemon fabric, if I remember. It was like a lemon collection, and it was like this yellow fabric that she did. But yeah, she looks good in it, and she paired it several different ways, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm going to put it up so you're able to see it while I talk through the video, okay? But yeah, but once again, it's $69.01 for this one right here. And she also did it again. Now, I think this one is the same suit, but I know she did it like 1 or 2 times. But yeah, if you think online, ask Nisha that this pattern is so good if you are working in corporate America. You need a vest. This one is definitely it for that, as well as the pants and shorts, okay? Once again, it's Nisha. So Legal Chick is the name on Instagram. But also, my girl Shamir, not only my girl Nisha, but my girl Shamir also did this pattern twice. So she did it in this pink fabric. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a fabric from Minerva and a linen fabric. You could definitely go to Minerva to see her post there. She used Butterick 6901 for the vest, and I don't remember the pattern for the pants, but it was a Vogue pattern. Of course, I'm going to put it up and talk through it. But she did it in this pink, super cute. Love it on Shamir as well. And then she did it again. And I remember that she did it in like this linen, I think it was a linen striped fabric with different color stripes. And the reason why I know that is because I have that same fabric, and I'm going to be making a blazer with mine. But yeah, Shamir never missed. Like, let's just be real. Shamir never missed with her make. She never missed with her photos. She's the ish, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's my girl Shamir. 6901 is the pattern. And of course, myself, I made it as well. But once again, that pattern is 6901. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 6910. And 6910 is a pair of pants. It's like a couture band, pants. Is a Palmer and Pletch pattern, like a tissue fitting type pattern. I have never done tissue fitting. I have always done it like a muslin, tulle, mock-up, whatever you want to call, just a test, okay? So if I'm really going for a fit on a pattern that I have never, like a brand, I should say, that I have never tried before. Of course, I have made several Butterick patterns, and the fit, I know how their pants normally fit. So I am going to get back into doing muslins, test muslins, to not waste any fabric or get kind of like a weird fit. But fitting is one of those things that's going to be ongoing when it comes to pants. Like, I'm just going to say it. So if you think like one time you make them good and then the next time it doesn't come out perfectly, fitting is one of those things that you will always be learning to do. Okay, if you are doing pants at this point. Now, for this pattern, view A is 5 pattern pieces. Now, you may be asking me, like, why wouldn't view B be 5 pattern pieces? Because it has pockets on this one, and the pockets add more pattern pieces, okay? So this one looks, so view B looks like it has a side pocket, but a pocket bag as well. So that's that. So view A is 5 pattern pieces for this one. Now this one is also part of my first collection, the Bare Bones of Butterick pattern. You'll hear this in about a week and a half. So when you see it, you'll hear like she did say that in this video. All right. But let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next up is Butterick 6933. Now I will say this is not part of the Bare Bones of Butterick patterns. Just want to say that, but this pattern right here is put in my hashtag so lucky jar. And it is part of a collection that I want to do later on this year. Okay. Now, for that collection, I plan on doing pretty much everything on this pattern. The blazer, the pants. I'm on the fence with that skirt, but we will see. Definitely the blazer and the pants for sure for this one. Now, view B, which is the skirt, is the only thing that's 2 pattern pieces. And that's what I'm not really feeling. But I feel like if I make the skirt, right, because it's like your bias cut skirt, I should say. I think it's a bias cut skirt. Yeah, it's a bias A-line skirt from what the website is saying. I think if I use kind of like a satin fabric for the skirt, like a printed satin, it should be good to go. But we will see and cross that bridge when we get to it, okay? But once again, this is 6933. I still have this pattern on my to-do list, but now it's in my hashtag so lucky jar 2024. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 6944. Now this is also in my hashtag so lucky jar 2024. I'm sorry, 2024, 2025. We're in 2025. But anyway, it's hashtag so lucky jar 2025. And this one I threw in there because I feel like I could do the shorts, the regular shorts, the Bermuda shorts, the capris, and the pants, okay? Which is all the views on this pattern. And you can have 4 different pairs of shorts, Bermuda shorts, culottes or capris, or pants, whichever one you see fit for this one. Now, view A and view B are 5 pattern pieces, and then view C is 2 pattern pieces for this one. I'm so sorry. All views are 5 pattern pieces for this one. I don't know what I was thinking, but all the views for 6944 are 5 pattern pieces. And it's an average to sew one as well. All right. But I didn't see anyone that have made this pattern. Let's move over to the next one. Next one is 6945. So view A and view B are 5 pattern pieces. That's the top. And then view C, which are your pants, is 2 pattern pieces. Now, just make sure you know that this one right here is a knit lounge set. So don't go using wovens. Find you some knits. Now, I would not use this one as a lounge set. I would definitely make it and wear it out to work, okay? Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually like view A, the top, but you could do view B, the dress, right? And I could literally see this as a 3-piece set and add some sleeves on view B because y'all know I'm not a fan of sleeveless stuff, but if you are, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to sew as well. Once again, this is 6945. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 6948, which is a jacket vest with belt, top, and dress, or you could just say a cord set, okay? So for this one, view C and D, which is your top, which are your top in dress pattern. Both of those are 4 pattern pieces, and view E, which is the pants. It's 4 pattern pieces there as well. Now, there was a collaboration that happened between Martha, which is Gary Chow, and Diana from 26 by Diana. They did a collaboration which was called So Galentine collab, I believe is what it was called. And they did the vest, which is Butterick 6948. I'll put it up so you're able to see that. So Martha used kind of like I think she used like a jacquard fabric, if I remember correctly. Whereas Diana, I think she used like a wool blend for her jacket, and she did hers in like gingham or wool plaid or something like that. But the ladies both looked fabulous in their jacket, and it was something that they did last year for Valentine's Day. Once again, this is Butterick 6948. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 6975. Now, this pattern has been on listen, the jacket has been cut since June, I believe, of 2023 or 2024. When the pattern first came out, okay? I will just say that. It's been cut since then, okay? But the problem is that I didn't have any energy to sew the entire cord set. But this one, A, B, and C, which are basically the jacket and top and dress, are 5 pattern pieces. D and E are 3 pattern pieces. So you can see why I really wanted to do this one. Now, looking at this pattern, I'm only really interested in the jacket and the pants. The top, I don't know. It's just like giving me like, I don't know, like would I actually wear this type vibe? You know what I'm saying? But once again, it's $69.75. This one is actually in my hashtag So Lucky jar, but I'm not sure if I'll get around to it because the plan is to sew at least 25 patterns from my So Lucky jar. Okay. Now I will be sharing my So Lucky jar. It's just, I've been out of town all week getting back in. So I'll be sharing that So Lucky jar pretty soon. All right, let's move over to the next pattern. All right, the next one is 7000, which is a pair of shorts and pants. This is the one that I keep calling like the tearaway, but a lot of people was like, girl, those are not tearaway. These are wraparounds, okay? So you just kind of like throw it on and it gives like a wrap effect in the front, has some elastic casing at the waist. So yeah, that's what these pants are. Now, A and B, the shorts and the pants, are 4 pattern pieces for this one. Get into this pattern. You know what? I actually should put this pattern as part of my hashtag So Lucky jar because it's only 4 pattern pieces, y'all. Like, need I say more? All right, moving over to the next pattern. Y'all know what the next pattern is because myself, as well as my partner C from We See Style, we have both sewn this pattern 3 to 4 times at this point. This is a good scrap buster pattern. It's 7001, which is the jacket, camisole, and pant pattern. Now, view A, I have done the jacket full sew along, which I'll put up here so you're able to see it. But the cardigan / jacket is 5 pattern pieces. Now, I hacked it and added on a belt to keep it closed, as well as belt loops and pockets. It's also in that sew along that I did for this one. And then view B, which is the cami. The cami is 3 pattern pieces, no notion. Oh, by the way, view A is no notion. View B is no notion. Now view C, you have to use some elastic for that. But I believe that view C is probably like 6 pattern pieces. You have your front, your back, there are some pocket and probably a pocket facing, and then kind of like a waist facing. I don't know if there's anything else there, but I know this is not 5 pattern pieces or less. I could tell you that for the pants. It's probably 6 to be on the safe side. But yeah, that's what that is. Probably a front facing and a back facing because in the back, it's some elastic. But this is a really good pattern. If you do not have Butterick 7001, take it from myself, take it from C. This is a really, really good pattern. Okay. Now, for the cami, I hacked it during Pattern Hackathon hosted by Chris from Unsocial. And during that time, what I did was I took the cami, added on a skirt, which was a simplicity pattern, and just basically made it as a cami dress. I shared with you guys how I hacked it. I have a video for that. For the hack itself, I have a video for that. I'll put it up here so you're able to see it. And then the entire sew along for how to do it is also a video. Okay, so that was during the Pattern Hackathon back in July of 2024. So I actually still wear this cami. I love it. I actually wore it 2 weeks ago, but that's besides the point. Once again, this pattern is 7001. Moving over to the last 2 patterns as Butterick patterns. This one is, the next one is 7009. This one is a tunic and pant pattern. View C, which is the pants, it's 3 pattern pieces, front, back, and waistband. That's it. That's it. If you want to add on pockets, you can. If you want to add on waistband, you can, which would make it 4 pattern pieces. But this one is 3 pattern pieces. There is an average to sew pattern. But yeah, this is 7009. I have this one. It's also in my So Lucky jar, just to let you know that. All right. So getting over to the last pattern that's part of this Butterick Ultimate Guide to Big 4 Patterns, featuring the Butterick patterns. That's 5 pattern pieces or less. It is 7017, which is a set of sleeves for any type of dresses and blouses that you make. Now, there's various sleeves, and most of these are no more than 3 pattern pieces for each sleeve. All right. So I like this one. I will definitely, put this pattern together because I have mine in PDF. Put the pattern pieces together and just throw it on any sleeveless pattern. Now listen, don't tip me with a good time, because what I would do definitely is piece all of these together and just keep throwing them on every single dress I have. I wish I would have done that for the Butterick 6994, but I wasn't thinking about that, but that's besides the point. All right, so those are all of the Butterick patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. All right, so there you have it. Those are all the Butterick patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. I know you guys are like, Rochelle, what the heck did you do? Yes, I just added to your Butterick Simplicity McCall's list of patterns that you may want to get that are 5 pattern pieces or less. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And if this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, you guys know what to do. Give your girl a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And I will catch you in the next one. Until next time, keep sewing.
Yeah.